Welcome back to the ESPN Hoops and Hits podcast, presented by Tab. I am the Scope, joined by my man, the Grub, and we are back, baby.
We are back, and what a week the NFL. What a week can be. So much can happen in a week, Oz. So much.
We've just come off a hectic, probably the most hectic trade in NBA history. And the NBA have sort of always gone back and forth in a bit of a battle with the NFL, but the NFL have been splashing some money in free agency, and we haven't even started yet. This is just, and in the NRL as well too, at Nostrada Jubilee. There's just money being thrown out around everywhere, all over the weekend. But yeah, we haven't even actually started proper free agency. These are basically either re-signings or players who have been released and then being able to get a deal before free agency hits, before all the other guys hit the market. And there's been plenty of drama. And then even a re-signing from a player who said farewell to Cleveland.
A letter.
A letter. All right. We'll also talk some NBA, though. The NBA is pumping at the moment. Playoffs are just around the corner. Joker puts up one of the most extraordinary stat lines, and we are going to discuss MVP odds later on, and we are going to discuss where the Joker fits right now on the all-time list for NBA players.
I've got an inkling that you've got you're going to say something about the Joker at the end of this podcast, and I'm just going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I heard something out the back there.
All right.
And I just hope you're not going to put it out there.
I think it's time to dissect the Luka and Davis trade even more so now.
Yep.
With Dallas, almost unable to put a lineup out on the court at the moment, and the Lakers absolutely thriving, and LeBron looks like he's 30 years old again. We'll delve into how that. I don't think we even need even more time to dissect that trade and how bad it was. We'll also discuss the UFC over the weekend, and this one caught a lot of people by surprise. Ankalaev stuns Pereira, but even more so, I just want to talk about the decision and the rules around decision, stuff that we've talked about before. And like I mentioned before, we're going to deep dive into who the MVP award belongs to right now, and we've got the odds from our partners at the Tab to dissect that as well. So let's kick it off, and we're going to start with Left on Red. As per, and this one comes from Facebook and it comes from Matt Edwards. Looks like we are playing for pick one. Hopefully there's a quarterback coming through in next year's draft. He must be a Seahawks fan because right now the Seahawks are selling everyone. Everyone's available. Geno Smith went a couple of days ago to the Las Vegas Raiders, but another big one this morning, DK Metcalf to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like it for the Seahawks, like it for the Steelers. Do you like DK Metcalf?
I like it for the Seahawks. Look, Geno Smith, he's been there for a few years now. He's not getting the job done at the Seahawks.
You can't win a Super Bowl with Geno.
You can't win it. No, and you just can't. And look, but you give Geno Smith to the Raiders with Pete Carroll, it makes more sense because they're not going to expect big things to happen straight away, are they?
They just want a winning culture back.
They just want to win.
Yep.
And Geno Smith can get you a couple of wins.
Yeah, he can get you 10 wins on a season.
He'll get you a couple of wins. And so I think it makes sense for that. But also Metcalf, get rid of him. I think he's a good player. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not sure on Metcalf's how good he'd be for culture. Yeah. He seems like a bit of a carry-on for me a lot of the time. But we talk about this with these wide receivers all the time. They don't get their own way. They spit the dummy. He literally wears a dummy too when he plays. It's weird. Yeah. So yeah. It's a full-blown clean-out. Yeah. It's good. Like I think the Seahawks are, look, mate, obviously they're going to struggle heavy now. But do you think they got their eye on someone?
I think in their rebuild, I think they love what they've seen out of Jackson Smith and Jigba last year. He looks like he's going to be the real deal. Yep. Metcalf, he just got re-upped by the Pittsburgh Steelers too. They gave him that big money contract that he was looking for. Seahawks weren't willing to do that. Got some picks back in return. I like it for the Seahawks. I'm with you. I didn't think they could win the Super Bowl with the roster that they had, most notably on offense with Geno Smith, You trade away DK Metcalf, you get some picks back, and Tyler Lockett's getting to the back end of his season, the back end of his career. A really good contributor for him for a long time, but unfortunately, that's just the way business goes, and they're probably better off putting some money into some younger players and getting some draft picks, and that's what they've done.
I also think Metcalf with George Pickens is a better Metcalf, if that makes sense. He's not the man anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think.
It'll benefit both of them.
That's what I'm saying.
It'll benefit both of
them. Take
a
little bit of, well, it's obviously got two threats.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't know.
You got to pick your poison now, who you're going to double on the outside, because you can only double one player. Pickens they're both really big, powerful athletes. So, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And I guess with the quarterback position for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think this really opens it up for Russell Wilson to return to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's got a great relationship with DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf always spoke highly of him, even when he left the Seahawks. So look out for Russell to re-sign.
Just a question. Who would be the highest? Who's the highest paid? Is CD Lamb highest paid wide receiver now?
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure on that last deal he got.
I think CD might have re-upped it. Yes, in the offseason just gone. It's thereabouts.
45, yeah.
It's thereabouts. Jamar Chase is about to smash that though.
So Metcalf got 30. That's where you reckon he's about there? 30?
I would prefer to pay CD Lamb over DK Metcalf. Yes.
Yep.
So if that is correct, I think that's about fair value for him. This one comes from X, coming from Twitter. Lions fans thought they were getting Myles Garett. We'll get to that in a bit. Packers fans thought they were getting DK. I'm a Packers fan. I'm actually happy we didn't get him, to be honest. And that comes off the back of Myles Garett, who wrote a letter to the Cleveland natives. He has not only not left, he has re-upped, and he is the highest paid non-quarterback player of all time. He just goes past Max Crosby's deal that he just got done as well. So Myles Garett, he kicked up a bit of a stink there for a little bit, but he's staying in Cleveland.
They all do. This is what I'm finding. That's what they do. They just kick up a stink. He's handed in a letter, Hoz. He said, "Look, guys,
you can't let her up.
It's been great.
You can't let her up." I've seen tactics before for players to negotiate contracts using the media, but come on, the letter's too much. The letter
handwritten. No, it can't have been. I wouldn't be handwriting. They should see my handwriting.
No,
I think my daughter writes better than me already.
I think ChatGPT come up with the letter for him.
Hey, I'm Myles Garett. Yeah, look, there was rumors he was coming to the Eagles. That's where I was wanting him to land.
You'll never get Myles Garett.
You don't reckon?
Nah. You got too many players. You got too many young guys that you got to re-up in the next 2 years. I don't think it's realistic that you're ever going to get him.
We don't really need him, do we?
No. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis through the middle, Nolan Smith, just re-upped Zach Bourne. You got so many good players in your defense.
What's his thought process? He just said money.
He's prioritized money over everything. Generational money. His kids will probably not have to. Yeah. If he invests his money the right way, he's a pretty switched on dude too, Myles Garett. Okay. I've heard him speak before. I know that he's surrounded himself with really good people over there in the States. He mix and mingle with a lot of the stars that are doing good things away from either the NBA court or the NFL field. So he'll be fine. This is generational money. You can't knock him for it. And if he's going to stay in Cleveland, you want to get overs.
Speaking about a team who is, I don't even know, what would you explain Cleveland at the moment? Honestly, it's not. You can't even say rebuilding.
Well, yeah, because they got the Deshaun. Yeah, it's the Deshaun Watson contract leaves them stuck for 2 years. You're stuck. That's the best way of explaining it.
And he's just got to be there.
And he's going to be there for the
next. Do you reckon he's just turning up, going?
Well, he'll just keep doing what he's been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. Turns up, sacks people, does his job on defense.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a team sport, but there's also individuals within these teams, and he'll just turn up. He'll get after the quarterback. He'll be all pro. He'll be a pro bowler. He's nearly defensive player of the year every year.
But I just think there's got to be something light at the end of the tunnel.
It's more motivation. The question you're asking is what motivates him.
Money doesn't. I'm telling you right. I don't know. Money does not motivate you at a certain point in your career.
Yeah. Okay.
You give me all the money back in the world. My last 4 or 5 years, I'll take quarter of the money to win a comp.
So do you envision a massive decline from Myles Garett now that he's got this contract?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I hope not, because it's not fair on Cleveland, because they're trying to rebuild, and there's one guy there that he's unbelievable. So yeah, but I just hope he for his sake as well, man. It's hard to turn up just to play for money.
Well, I know they got Deshaun Watson, but they do have the second overall pick, and there has been chat that they could go quarterback. So if they strike gold, maybe they get this year's Jaden Daniels at the second pick, and then all of a sudden the way you view Cleveland becomes completely different. So some other big news, some other big signings. Devontae Adams signs with the Rams after getting released by the Jets. Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown have been rumored to be on the move. That's just rumors so far. And again, Aaron Rodgers, the saga continues. Giants are favourites, heavy favourites at the moment, staying in New York. He's obviously got his place there in New York, but there are rumours the Minnesota Vikings, if they do indeed move off Sam Darnold. So that's all about to play out in the next week. We'll see how that unfolds as well. All right, but let's go to Devontae Adams, the new wide receiver for the Los Angeles Rams. There are three biggest names for wide receivers, veteran wide receivers, that have either been on the trade block and now it's done, or have just been signed in Devontae Adams. I'm going to ask you to start, sit, or sell.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
DK Metcalf.
Yep.
And Devontae Adams. Not their entire careers right now. Like if you're a franchise right now.
Yep.
Who are you prioritizing out of those three?
I'm starting. It's a tough one, man.
The age factor's on DK's side.
That's what I'm saying.
But you probably think...
I don't like DK, but he irritates me. But I'm starting DK.
Are you going to start DK?
I'm starting DK. Even though it irritates me, he's the best. He's the best out of them three.
Okay.
Right now.
Yep.
I'll sit Cooper Kupp. Get rid of
Devontae Adams.
I don't know. Yeah. I really didn't like what I seen from him last year.
Yeah, at the Jets.
Right. But in saying that, if he gets in, who's he going to have? Matty Stafford?
Yeah, he'll be Matt Stafford. Cooper Kupp will be gone to be opposite Puka Nacua. So I think he's going to put up good numbers next year.
He'll be better.
Yeah. But I like you. DK Metcalf, he's got the age.
Yep.
He's still, about to hit his prime. He's nowhere near the best that Adams ever was at his complete best, but Devontae's not at his best now. I think Adams has got more juice than Cooper Kupp. Kupp looked rough last year, so I'm selling Cooper. I will start DK reluctantly over my OG, one of my favourites of all time, and sit Devontae Adams.
Okay. We get rid of AJ Brown. We'll take Cooper Kupp.
Ooh, okay.
I like Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I think he's a grinder.
Yeah.
I really like him.
Yeah.
He's no AJ Brown. But if we are going to lose him.
You got Devontae on the outside. Don't hate that.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp will be a good pickup for a team, and he'll probably be a really solid fringe second receiver, more than likely third receiver slot, 5 to 6 yards, safe hands, working over safeties. I think that's what the future of Cooper Kupp looks like. All right, let's get to the Joker and get to the NBA. And this one comes from Twitter, and it comes from Ingram Alerts. Jokic, you just made NBA history. So, Nikola Jokic just put up the first ever, and this isn't a mistake, 30-point, 20 rebound, 20 assist game in NBA history.
Wow.
And it was against the Suns too, by the way. So he's just playing at another level right now. And we're going to get to MVP in a little bit, so I'll save it for then. But stop me when you hear a better player than Joker.
Yep.
I'll go through all this. Joel Embiid. Paul George. I think you get the flow of this. We're going to work into it.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard. KD.
No.
Giannis. Wilt Chamberlain. It's harder with the OGs. Bill Russell. It's hard to compare eras. Magic Johnson. Larry Bird. Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry Legend.
I love Larry Bird, though.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not saying that. Well, I am. Because that's the game. Stop it there.
But right. The next couple would have been Kareem, LeBron, and MJ.
Tough.
So like the conversation then leads to, like we were talked about it before with KD. One championship, multiple MVPs, still has, I would say he's right in the middle of the prime of his career. If he goes and wins another NBA championship, he has to be discussed. I think he's 100% in the top 20 conversation of all time.
Yeah.
with the ability to push all the way into the top 10. Like, he is that good. I think he's that good. Like, he is almost, when he's on, unguardable. It's just about the rest of his teammates coming up with and making shots when, they're wide open. Really.
30-20-20.
That's unbelievable.
Nah, like that is like, I'm not even that good on NBA PlayStation, and I'm good. Yeah, but honestly,
2K?
he's actually like, it's ridiculous. But I don't know what it is, Hoz. Okay, you speak to some old school. You're a bit different because you really know NBA, but you speak to some people that vaguely know NBA. He's not in the top 10 convo, nowhere near it. Is that correct to say?
Yeah, there's definitely the opposite. I don't know what the reverse is to recency bias, but when you're living in the moment, it's very hard to place players that still have a fair bit of their journey to go.
Yeah.
Like, we go back to our conversation a couple of weeks ago with the KD chat, and there's still animosity and hate towards KD because of what he did. And if you take that all away, the OKC move, or to go to the Golden State, you appreciate players in sports more when they're retired.
Agreed.
You need 5 years. You need about 5 years post-retirement to fully appreciate what you're going to miss. And I think it's going to be this even more so with LeBron. Steph Curry's going to be another name. I think when you start adding up what he's done so far, and if he's able to do something special this year, because the Jimmy Butler trade looks like it's really worked out for them as well, then I think it takes about 5 years post-career before you can properly sit back and just, all right, have an opinion on where you think someone sits. And that's why we're so much more comfortable placing Michael, LeBron, Magic. Magic was a play. We missed Magic last time we were doing the top 10, but we did it off the cuff. Larry Bird, like where we sit those guys, it's not like the range isn't as far. No. You know what I mean by that?
KD was a hard one for me then.
Yeah.
Because I feel he's at the end, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Jokic isn't.
He's not.
So it's still sorted out like what KD's done. But Jokic is probably going to overtake him. But you're right. Give me 5 years when they're both out of the game, and I reckon you get a clearer view of it all. But, man, he's just talking about unguardable. Like, you just watch games and you just don't.
He does it so easy, mate.
He does it easy. It's probably.
He dawdles up the court.
Here's a call. The most awkward-looking freak superstar I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's up there.
He doesn't. It's ridiculous what he does on the court.
He's so big too, though, that how you position yourself defensively. He's got really good high IQ. He passes the ball really well, mate. Some of these European players, they're just getting better and better.
Tell me you've seen him when he goes back home.
Yeah,
on the
punts
horses.
on the horses, has a few beers.
But rides. Have you seen him
he
drive?
rides
It looks so big.
He must be 150 kilos of the best as well.
The poor horse.
Yeah, the poor hitting the trotters like that. That makes me love him even more.
Oh,
Goes
what
back,
a man.
has a bit of a stump.
He does.
Has a few beverages.
He does.
Has a flick of the horses.
Then gets
I'm
off.
all for it.
Oh, he's a man.
All right, let's get over to the UFC. This one comes from Facebook, and it comes from Wasif U. Raymond. Alex, fans are dead, man. Congrats to the new champ. The other one come from Facebook, and it's from Israel Diaz. Pereira fought better against Roundtree. Now, I saw him too cautious, as if afraid of losing, and that caused it. I hope they give him a rematch, and he fights like we have seen before. Weak jaw in his sparring. He fought better and proposed attacks than now in the fight. Shame. Shama. This is after Ankalaev defeats Pereira in a controversial win. My biggest thing and the biggest takeaway, and there has been chat about it, and it always goes like this when, the champion loses a belt and it's by decision and the numbers are controversial. I say this over and over again. Put the damn scorecard up somewhere, just like when we're watching the NBA or the NFL and we know a team is down by 3 points and there's a minute to go and they need a couple of threes to win the game, or if we're watching the NFL and a team's down by 3 and we know they need a touchdown to win the game, why don't we have scorecards in UFC and boxing? It frustrates me so much.
But why is it?
I don't know.
Have they come out and said anything ever?
UFC? I've never seen anyone speak on it, no.
Well, like, enough's enough, because I tell you what, I'm actually over it. I'm actually over not seeing the scores, because UFC, especially in boxing, I can't watch boxing anymore.
No.
It is. I've seen a few fights of late where I don't want to say the word, but the sport is. It's not the same sport.
It makes you second guess whether you actually understand contact sports when some of the decisions come out, and you're left dumbfounded, and you're like, didn't think he was going that bad.
No.
You see the scoreboard, and you start to think, the worst. In sports, is there? That there's punting involved in sports these days, and all that sort of stuff, and your mind starts to go to the worst possible scenarios and all that, but. You get rid of all of that too. All that noise is gone. If a fighter gets into the 3rd or 5th round of a UFC championship fight or the 12th round of a boxing bout, and the scorecard's up there, and the trainer comes up to him and goes, Shama, you're losing this. You're down. You're on points. You're down. You've lost the first 2 rounds.
Yep.
You need to go after it in the 3rd round and show them that you're the champ.
Yep. And if they don't change that, if they don't pick up their speed or they're not, that's it.
That's on them.
You lose.
Yep, that's on them.
But they know.
Yep.
We know. We don't like, this is the thing, like I hate talking about it, but we don't know what they're thinking midway through the fight. It feels like they have something set in their mind, and only if something drastic happens, it changes.
Yeah, they'd have to go
after. Don't you reckon?
It. Yep.
Like I feel that's where it's at right now.
Well, he didn't show any urgency at the back end in that 3rd round.
Nothing.
For me to say that he thought he was losing that fight. And the reactions as well sort of showed that as well. Let's get to a fight for our lives. And we can pick 3 fighters between us each to see who survives. I've got John Jones, Alex Pereira, Chuck Liddell, Conor McGregor, Habib, and Alexander Volkanovski. Let's go scissors, paper, rock to see who goes first. Scissors, paper, rock.
Yes.
You got first pick.
Khabib.
Oh, Habib. Oh, wow.
I'm going Khabib and Habib.
Habib.
2 for the 1.
All right, I'm going to go John Jones.
Yeah, I knew they were first 2.
And so I get snake order, so I go again. I get 2 and 3, and then you go 4.
Oh, you just make it up, mate.
Is that what we discussed before?
Yeah.
I'll take Alex Pereira as well. So John Jones and Alex Pereira.
It's a pretty good combo.
You can't put Connor in that. Well, you can't put Connor with.
I was just going to say I'm going to try and sell the fight. I'll go Connor because I'm definitely losing.
And then you go one more pick, and then I get the last pick.
All right, I'm going the Aussie pride, the Volk.
Yeah, you got the Volk. All right, I got Chuck Liddell, and I like my chances.
Yeah, same.
I
like your chances.
I got you on size.
I went for Khabib just because I don't even know what he is. Yeah. He's just an unbelievable animal. But yeah, look, John Jones is just going to strike us.
You left me to 2 big boys. I've got the weight on you.
You've got the weight.
Alex Pereira and John Jones.
But I will sell the fight.
Well, this is a 3-way battle with us as the coaches.
Yeah. You know
so
what?
I ain't getting involved in this.
I'll take Connor out. You sell the fight. Sell us some vodka, gin, whatever you do. I'll get in the ring.
All right, done. All right, let's get to the stalemate. And this one is with regards to the trade. Let's have a quick look at this. And we don't even have to spend a lot of time on this for me, mate. This is still, I thought at the time, the most confusing trade of all time. We have a message from Instagram, and it comes from Chevy Garett. Mav's mistake was taking Thompson. They should get a defensive-minded 3-and-D. Not Thompson. Luka and Kyrie can do offensively. Don't know why that message was on there because that has nothing to do with the trade. The next one comes from Twitter, and it's from Mav's Mammy. That Luka trade was so bad, it was enough for me to stop caring about a sport I've been madly in love with for 32 years. That's huge.
That is big.
And I would say Mavs fans are obviously like that. It does feel it's just left a bit of a yuck taste in my mouth, this whole trade. Like, it doesn't feel right that the biggest franchise in terms of popularity and getting all the celebrities there, get Luka with LeBron, and the Mavs just got rissoled in this trade.
Yeah. Well, but what happened? Well, I would love to know what actually happened, because they're coming out with all these excuses now. And okay, well, you see what you've done now. So is Luka being overweight, all that stuff? Are you happy with that's why you got rid of him? I don't even care if he was overweight, this, that. I'll get him in shape.
I'll give him a 6-pack, darts, whatever he wants.
Do it. No, but
he can go watch the horses with Jokic at the end of the year. Get on the beverages and have a few ciggies if he wants.
But he's still winning games.
He's still all NBA. I don't know.
Nah, it's ridiculous.
The more it's gone on, the more it's frustrated me. I think I'm getting more worked up the more we get into it. So let's move on. Let's get to the Pick 6 presented by Tab. We have odds up here with our partners, the Tab.
Yep.
And the MVP odds. Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, is a heavy favourite at $1.15.
Yep.
Joker's sitting in second place or the second favourite at $5. And then you've got Tatum, Giannis, and LeBron all at 250 to 1. Now, I think we can remove the bottom three, respectfully.
You sure?
LeBron James is playing well.
I was about to say, can you move LeBron?
Giannis is actually playing really well as well, putting up big numbers, but it doesn't matter. It's between SGA and it's between Jokic. So, do you want the triple dub machine or do you want the points leader? Do you want the points leader on the best team, the captain of the best team right now?
Yep.
And he made a statement today too, by the way. The Oklahoma City Thunder put a beating on the Denver Nuggets and Shai put up 40.
There you go. That's why he's $1.15.
$1.15.
I think you like the Joker.
I like the value with the Joker at $5.
But are you actually backing that responsibly?
I might have a piece on it responsibly, or I might even had a piece on it responsibly with, in a multi, Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP.
Wow.
So I could still be riding the Joker. I don't understand it. The narrative, I guess it's the MVP fatigue when they've already won it, similar to what happened to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson put up better numbers this year than he did in his previous MVP year. Joker's doing it. He's putting up better numbers this year than his other MVP years, but he's won it multiple times already. And the shiny new doll, or the most popular, they keep talking about his aura, SGA right now, on the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are a feel-good story as well.
Nice.
From where they've come from in the last 5 years, the amount of draft picks they got, how he was traded from the Clippers to the Oklahoma City for Paul George, and now that trade looks like that's a really bad trade as well, because Paul George is struggling a little bit at Philly. He's now moved on from the Clippers, obviously. So I think the feel-good story is SGA. I think stats back up Joker as the actual MVP.
Well, 30-20-20 is hard to go by. But you're right. It's who they like at the moment, I feel.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon?
It is it's a
popularity
MVP
contest.
You vote on it. So when you take stats and you take, I guess, basing it all around stats, then it comes down to a feel thing. And that's where it opens up for players who are potentially going through a more likable part of their career to win the award. But for free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
That is it for this episode of Hoops and Hits, mate. Another good episode. Nice and short and sharp this week. And we've got some big free agency news coming up. We've got playoffs just around the corner. And let's hope I can get my Nikola Jokic multi up too. Because
I'm with you.
Are you back on?
No, I like you to win.
Okay. All right.
That's all. But you won't get it.
We're all winning on this show.
Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner. See you next week.